What is going on, beautiful people? It's your boy here, Wesley from Aconnectiontv here on YouTube and watchactv.com, the two places on the World Wide Web where we actually adopt similar connections despite our differences. And I'm here to talk to y'all about the latest episode, the early episode of Big Brother. It came on Friday, and I don't know if it's necessary for me to actually review it, but I'm going to because I just watched it yesterday, and I know a lot of you guys who are in Big Brother, you guys see what's happening on the live feeds and you see what's happening on the BB update tweets, as do I. And I feel like there's no real reason to watch the show anymore. They've stopped playing the game. They've allowed someone to fully come in and sweep it and take it all the way to the end. And there's no point. There's no point. And so for me, I'm a little still perturbed because I just can't understand. I know a lot of you were saying that they get recruiters to be on the show or whatever the case may be. I don't know. I feel like amongst the alleged recruiters or whatever, there are people that actually watch the game or, you know, are fans of the show. And I just don't understand, like, the people that are left, Xavier, Kyland, Azza, not Big D, because Big D seems to know nothing about Big Brother. Like, he seems to know nothing about it. And so I don't know about him. But even the people leading up to this, Hannah, how and why are they not understanding that Xavier is going to win this game? I don't understand that. Even top 8, you can see it. Top 10, you can see it. Top 7, you can see it. And I guess they did see it. They just were so unaware. Crazy, just crazy. I feel like Tiffany screwed up when she stuck with the alliance and put up Claire. That's where she screwed her game over. Matter of fact, that's where she screwed her game over. Because even though she went against the cookout in the beginning, and then she stuck her neck out for the cookout with Claire, she should have just continued going against the cookout. Because if you were going to save your friend, you could have kept saving her. That's where she bombed. That's where she bombed. And I know she did it so a black person can win, whoop-de-whoop. Okay, great. But you still jacked yourself over. You did. So Tiffany didn't make the best game move then. Then we move to Hannah. Hannah decided to keep the cookout in her good graces, and, you know, she got out Alyssa. That's where Hannah screwed up. Because we're at a point now where y'all already, I know they wanted to get the 6 to the end and whoop-de-woo, woo! No. Y'all have all the people in color in jury. A black person's gonna win. There's no way Claire is beating y'all out. There's no way Alyssa's beating y'all out. A black person is gonna win. But they wanted the 6 to make it to the end. Okay, you didn't know in the 8 that Xavier was gonna win this game. You didn't know that in the 8 that Kyland would be next. What? No. No. Okay, so for me, it's a dub. Tiffany screwed up first, Hannah screwed up second, Azza screws up third by putting up Hannah next to Xavier and not putting up Xavier and Kyland on the block. Oh, I made a promise, I'm keeping my loyalty. Loyalty, schmoyalty. That's all out of the window because Xavier is winning this game, people. Anybody outside of yourself, if you see them winning the game, you need to eliminate that person. Period. Then next person to screw up is Kyland. Kyland screwed up by taking Xavier off the block. Kyland could have secured Xavier's exit by pulling Hannah off and putting up Big D. Period. Period. He messed up. He messed up. But the worst of it all for me is a toss-up between Tiffany and Azah. Azah still, if she would have put the two guys up, at best they probably could have got frazzled and maybe lost because they were nervous about going home. That's probably what could have happened, maybe. But Tiffany had all the ability. She had all the ability to get rid of these dudes. All the ability to get rid of these dudes. But she didn't because she wanted to stick true to the cookout. And look at where that led you. Okay, yes, Tiffany is very respected by many. Tiffany might be able to come back on the game again. But they're never... Whoever is in there with Tiffany is never going to let her skate through to the end. They're never. She is a wash. And then they're talking about Kylan coming back. It's a wash for these people. The only person that made it all the way to the end was Paul and Nicole. But that's because these people were dumb. Like, I don't understand why. And Cody was like, why y'all letting this man get all the way to the end? Anyways, outside of that, there's no point in watching this show anymore. Xavier is going to win, and Xavier is the only one that's thinking about getting out Kylan before Final 3. And now where we are, Big D has to stop thinking with his a-hole and start thinking with his heart. Because Big D has a decision to make. It's between Kylan and his penis or Azah and her friendship. We already know that the gays have a huge... There's always a gripe between a lot of gays and women. Always, it's been like since I could remember. There's always like this invisible line between us. Don't know why. You know, gays go to the gay spots, lesbians go to the lesbian spots. Gay men have something to say about women. Women have something to say about gay men. Don't know why. We're not in a competition with each other. Like, we all like the same thing. We should like each other. But that's not the case. I.e., Derek F. going after Tiffany the whole freaking season. Derek F. wanting Tiffany out the whole freaking season. That was the classic case of gays versus women. You may not understand it because maybe you're not gay watching this, but I've lived the life, so I know what I'm talking about here. So now Derek F., not even knowing that he's not going into the DR to make the decision, that he has to make the decision right in front of them, has to decide between someone that's been there from the beginning in the Joker's team. They are the only team left intact with the most people. This woman has been there for him, and he's been there for her the entire season. Now you have Kai, who allegedly is pansexual or, at best, gay-friendly to the point where he's masturbating a unicorn horn with Xavier and making it wet with the pool water. I'm sure Derek was getting his life watching that. And so now Derek has to decide between that or Azah. It's a clear no-brainer to me. Number one, Azah, because she's left on my original team and we've been together from day one. We both won nothing except for Azah winning one HOH in this whole competition. We're both losers. We should stick together as losers. That's reason number one, mainly because of the loyalty to Azah. Boom, and Azah did not put him up, period. So that's really real reason number one. Real reason number two, do you honestly think that you could win against Xavier 1 and Kylan 2? What is wrong with this imbecile? I do not understand why Derek F. thinks he has any room to speak at all in this game. He doesn't know anything about Big Brother. He hasn't won anything at all. And all he does is complain, bicker, and moan. And speak poorly about the women. And make sex jokes. Saying that, you know, they know that Kylan is half black because of his D size. Why is Derek F. in the house? Why is he in this house? For comedic relief? There is no one in this house that thinks that Derek F. is going to win Big Brother but him. That's problematic. That is problematic in all caps. I would rather Tiffany sit her rude ass in this house versus Derek F any day. But now he's gonna make the deciding factor. He's the determining factor on if Kyland or Azah make it to Final 3. And he's trying to figure out what he should do. I don't understand. You know what? I was playing this game last night at the house. The DNA clue thing, the suspect clue thing, I was getting everything right from the comfort of my own home. Listen, when auditions come up for this, I'm going to audition because you know you can't want for anything if you don't try for it, and so I'm going to audition. But I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know because you know I'm already out there on social media. I've talked about CBS in length. I've talked about Big Brother in length. I know like a lot of these production companies and things don't like when you already have a head on your shoulders with regards to what you say about their programming. So I'm pretty sure I'm not in the running. But I would, oh my God. Oh my God. From my personality alone to the fact that I would be a cop beast. What are we talking about here? To the fact that my DRs would be on point. What are we talking about here? I am going to audition for the next Big Brother. Whether I get close to it or not, it is what it is. But in my house, in the living room, I was playing this game and I was getting the cards right. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Anyways, Xavier wins HOH. Duh. Duh. It was cool to see like the behind the scenes when Hannah was not here for the live show and she went into the room to go talk to them. The two guys left, Hannah went after them to plead her case. That was dope. That was dope. But the guys were smart. The guys knew that Hannah would come after them. The guys knew that they didn't have control over Hannah ultimately. So it is what it is. Hannah got out. But that's Azah's bad. Kyland didn't even consult Azah. That's how you know you've been crapped on this whole show. When you just won HOH and they don't even consult you. That's how you know you garbage. Whoa! Ain't no way in hell I would have let ain't no way in hell I would have let that slide. What are we discussing? What are we discussing? Even though, you know, Azah had no power. But they completely shattered on her. They didn't even shit, they shattered on her. What? You know what a shat is? It's that wet. They shattered on her. And all she could do was sit there and look beautiful and mad. Beautiful and mad. You really think, these are Kyland and Xavier. Well, no, Xavier is the smartest because he's winning. He's winning the whole show. Xavier's the smartest. But Kyland was the second smartest. Because he got out Tiffany. But Kyland should have got out Xavier. I don't know why he's thinking. I don't know why he's thinking that he could beat Xavier and that he wants to take Batman and Superman and Batman to the end. I don't know why he's thinking that. Because there's no way that Kyland would have lost against Azah and Big D. There's just no way. There's no way. There's no way. Even if Kyland is a bit whatever to people, there's no way they would have chosen Azah or Big D over Kyland. Like, what are we talking about here? I just don't understand it. But Xavier's positioned himself the best because he's never really gotten blood on his hands throughout this whole show. At least regarding the jurors. Isn't that crazy? And he didn't skate to the end. He got himself there, was on the block 5 times, and didn't go home. He's the winner of Big Brother. Anyways, y'all, there's really nothing else for me to say. I mean, Xavier's going to win. Not unless Big D saves Kyland, and then there's a potential running for the end with Kyland. But if Xavier and Ozza, if Xavier, Big D, and Ozza are the final three, Xavier is winning. Ozza doesn't even know what to do with power. You saw when she finally won, she was crying because she never won anything, and then she made that bitch-ass, dumbass decision. Ozza doesn't know what to do with power, and neither does Derek F, because he can't even make the conscious right decision and pick Ozza over Kyland. Anyways, I'm Wesley. Tune in. We're going to watch this to the end, even though we already know that Claire was right. Xavier is winning. We already know. But anyways, I'm curious to see who's going to... we already know Xavier is winning. Leave your comments below and let me know if you feel the way that I do. Question, do you think Derek F is going to choose Ozza or Kyland? Leave your comments below and let me know. Deuces. I know. You're not about to think about not subscribing to aconnectiontv.com. Copyrighted.